Black people, a time for you get wise. Do not be tricked by the media anymore. This one is about Africa. Africa is the future. Let me tell you something. All going around and coming around, they try to let Africa look like it's the worst place on planet Earth. They try to let Africa look like it's just slum, poverty, hungry, starvation, war, and all these things. But little did you know that Africa feed the world. Did you know that without Africa, the world cannot survive? The world cannot survive without Africa. For example, all these machinery that they have in the hospitals, without Africa, they couldn't have these machines and all these things that saving lives. Without Africa, they couldn't have an ambulance. Without Africa, they couldn't have cars. Without Africa, we couldn't have mobile phones. Without Africa, we couldn't have electricity. Without Africa, we couldn't have nothing at all. But yet still, the media spread their propaganda to let Africa look like it's nothing. And all you black people that always raging against Africa. I don't want to go to Africa. It's sufferation, starvation. Why? Because they're playing psychological tricks on you with their media propaganda, with their televisions and their newspapers and their documentaries and all these negative things that they portray about Africa, which is not true. They made Africa to be what it is, to make it look like it's just a place for suffering people. But where they get all their resources from to build their economies and to build their infrastructures in their countries, all of those things come from Africa. And I want to let you know that all you black people who raging against Africa or denying Africa and all these things, what are you going to do when Europe and America fall and lose their power? Europe, America, Canada, and England. What are you black people who denying Africa going to do when these countries fall and Africa became the superpower of the world? Then you're gonna claim Africa. Oh, I'm a black man, I want to go home. I want to go back to Africa. I'm an African, this and that. You know why you are like that? Because you were tricked to think that Europe and America, Canada and England are the breadbasket of the world. But they are not. It's Africa is the breadbasket. Because where Europe, Canada, England and America get their resources from and their wealth from Africa. Without Africa, you couldn't have a Rolex watch. Without Africa, you couldn't have what they call it Versace and Louis Vuitton, or what they want to call it Nike and all these things. All these materials come from Africa. Without Africa, they could even make weapons of mass destruction. You have a thing what they call uranium. Africa gives the world everything. But you know what? They are playing some psychological tricks and economical tricks in Africa, and they elect these puppets governments in Africa to do their dirty works. So when you see Africa in the state that it's in, it's designed to be like that, not originally from nature. So let me tell you something, black people. Wake up and know that Africa is the future. How Shaquille Morris said that. Think about what I just said. Peace.